Everyone, so I'm just going to show you a quick video of about what I do with my wax melts and candles and things, seeing as though I'm just doing it. My battery's getting really low, so I will have to keep this quick. Basically, I am making a large candle for a lady, and I haven't got what's it called, hang on 2 seconds. Basically, I use these to keep my wicks in place, but unfortunately it doesn't quite fit over the lid of that, so I've had to use scissors instead to keep my wicks level. As you can see, I'm putting 2 wicks in because I feel that 1 wick, it won't get the right amount of pool with the type of wicks that I am using, which are these ones today. Now I need about 500 grams of wax to fill this jar. So what I have done, as you can see, it's a shame you can't smell it because, oh my god, it's gorgeous. Lime cooler we're doing today, and I've put 50 ml of the oil in here, which I will add later. I have just put 500 grams of wax in my melter, and I put it in some water on the hob, as you can see, to let that melt slowly. You must never ever melt wax quickly because it does actually have a point where it can set on fire. Right, what do we want? Right, we want some of this green. So how am I going to do this where I can get the camera level? Maybe if I... That's it. So, all we need for 500 grams of wax, literally, can you see that? Is about just that little bit, you see, just them few little bits of colouring for all that wax, because if you put too much in, it won't dissolve. Now they say put about 1% of the colourant in per how many grams of wax there is, and because I've been doing this a while now, I just know how much to put in without having to measure it. And with the oil, they say put up to a maximum, and it's different with different oils. So for you who think, oh, I'm just going to try this, with some oils you can only put with some you can only put like a maximum of say 3% in, some it's 8%, but the oils, most of the oils I use, you can put a maximum of 10% oil in per how many grams of wax you've got. So say I've got 500 grams of wax here, I can put 50 ml of oil in. So I'll leave it at that now, and then I'll show you once it's starting melting. Yay, I managed to find one in the cupboard that was big enough, so as you can see now, we've got us wicks nice and level. Oh, it drives me mad when I have to balance them with things, because then when you pour the liquid in, the wicks can still move and bend, and it's ideal when you have one of these because it keeps them nice and straight and in the right position. I also use glue dots, these things, to, don't know if you can see that, I use them to stick them down to the base, so as the bottom here doesn't wiggle about and move about when the hot wax goes in either. Right, so as you can see, if I switch that on, it's just starting to melt now. I can't really stir it very good with one hand while I'm on the camera, but yeah, the colour's just starting to come through and the bottom's starting to melt. Right, so we're getting there now. I just keep stirring it, and as you can see it's got a nice dark green colour. It will go a bit lighter than this once it's been poured and reset. So as you can see, it's all melted now. So what we do now is take this out, and then I just need to do the temp, and I've got my handy little gun, and I simply shoot the laser into it, and as you can see it's 8, that is the temperature. Now it's a bit too hot at the moment, we need to let it cool down a little bit first, so we'll do that, and then we shall add the oil. Right, so it's cooled down somewhat now to the right temperature. Now I need to just place this so we can see. Right, out there. And now, as you can see, I'm just going to slowly pour it in, and I will keep mixing it. I never pour it in too quickly. I always take my time and mix it very well, because you always have to make sure that the oil is well mixed into the melted wax, because if it's not, then you end up getting wet spots in your finished product where you have oil leaking out, you can get bubbles, and it just ruins the product really. So keeps pudding. Go on then. So keep mixing that. Oh, it smells lovely. So keep mixing. Right, and now we're ready to pour. Right, so prep the camera up here so you can see me pouring. And I'm now going to start, and I always pour nice and slow, never pour too fast. And I bet you're wondering now, thinking, well, it's not really filled up full. No, it isn't, because what I do, I like to do it in 2 layers. Because if I fill this right up to the top, I find that the wicks tend to bend and get more misshapen. So I tend to fill it up half or 3/4, and then I'll let that set, and then I'll just add another layer up here to finish off. Have you flushed the toilet? Have you flushed the toilet? You haven't flushed the toilet. Go and flush the toilet, please. That is disgusting. Go flush the toilet, thank you. Right, so now I'm just getting ready to do this second lot of wax. Nearly there. Right, there we go. So now we'll pop this in here and let that second set melt, and put the colouring in and pour the oil again. So we've done the second layer now, and as you can see, it's just waiting for it to set now, and I just poured the extra in there. So yeah, it's just a waiting game now for it to set. Oh, it smells lovely.